Hey guys, welcome. If you're just coming over from Aaron's stream, just going to fill up the chat here. We got
there we
here's
go.
Aaron. I got Aaron in here. I'm waiting for Mike. I thought Mike left his open, but
No.
it looks like
he didn't leave it open?
No, he didn't. But that's okay.
That's why he couldn't hear. I was on my other stream. I could hear your whole audio in my ear on this one.
I know. I was worried about that. I was like,
okay.
uh-oh, I got to switch it. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the channel.
Mike said he didn't. I'm not sure Mike has the link.
He does. He was already in here before yours even started. We
Right.
were testing his new camera and his new setup. But welcome to everybody who is just joining us. This is this week's edition of Scientology Live. We've got Aaron Smith-Levin and Mike Rinder's just about to show up. I'm trying to do a more generic intro for these, Aaron, because I have a podcast that these go on as well. So I'm just being a little bit more general and doing a proper intro as much as I can so that anyone joining us knows. But Mike's literally trying to figure out which link that he needs to click on. Let me just send him the link again, just so he knows. But he hasn't showed up yet. So anybody that's in the chat, let us know where you're from. I like to find out all the people that we have and where you guys are tuning in from and where you're watching from. And let me just...
we've already got 1,500 people watching, so that's decent.
Nice. Let's just do this. I'll send that to Mikey boy. There you go. Just in case. He'll see it pop up and just click on it. The invites from me or you, they look exactly the same. So unless he knows.
I told you he didn't have the link.
We were already
I know
live.
he has the link, but...
oh wow, we already got some super chats too. I'll just hit those right now while we're waiting for Mike. But Claire hasn't starred them yet. But we already have 1,500 folks in. That's amazing. Oh, I do want to show this real quick. I did star a few before. Christy NC, I'm so sorry. She says, okay, we get it. You have Photoshop and a sense of humor. It's getting old and I'm embarrassed to have these thumbnails in my feed. No. Once in a while is funny. Every day is tired. Okay, Christy.
Wait, what is she talking about?
She's talking about the thumbnails for the videos.
But what are you putting them in your community tab or something?
Well, no, I mean, they go to Facebook, they go to YouTube, and they go to Twitter. All my Blown for Good channels all get this video. So like right now, people are watching live on Twitter, people are watching live on Facebook and YouTube. Okay. So Christy, I'll do this. It's a fair point, Christy. I'm just going to really quickly go through some other comments about the thumbnails and we'll see what the viewers say. Here we go. Elena says, Christy NC, if your life were being messed with, wouldn't you want to use every tool available to return the favor? Oh, that's a good one. Thanks, Elena. Or this one, Ellie Mae. The thumbnails for this channel are so creative and fun. Love it. Broken Dishes says, hilarious thumbnail. Kay Volko says, I love the thumbnail pic. Happy birthday to me. Lydia... we're just talking about thumbnails real quick, Aaron. Sorry, or Mike. Lydia Von Stretchclaw says, that central shoop is amazing. Angela Bernhardt, friend of Hogue, says, I've already liked simply for the thumbnail. Wow. Me Time with DYA with Erica says, wow, I'm early. Love the thumbnail. So Christy NC, I'm sorry, but you've been overruled. Okay. Somebody didn't like the thumbnail, Mike, so I just had to read off 10 comments of other people who love the thumbnail.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, just it's all good.
There was a lot of meaning in that.
Oh, there was
a lot of clever thought went into that.
So much. They have that we just talked about it, or Aaron, I don't remember who talked about it. Maybe we talked about it. That Jeannie Sonnefield broad from Ohio. She's holding a little bankrupt sign.
I know.
Tom Cruise and Dave Miscavige are just about to engage in an emotional embrace. There was ghosts of L. Ron Hubbard behind them. So many little Easter eggs.
Danny Masterson slipping a Mickey.
Oh yeah, Danny Masterson had a little roofie. There was a lot of stuff crammed into one image, and as soon as I saw it, I was taken aback. I said, "That's my thumbnail for tonight's video. It's done." So yeah, but that leads us to the first topic, which is if you're going to submit a Photoshop of David Miscavige called a shoop, please make sure it's wide, side to side, landscape, please. And any of those that get in here by the end of tonight, they're going in tomorrow's video.
The ones that are not wide side to side.
Well, I don't want to say it, but if they're good, I will include them. And it also, if we're low, like if we're lean on the amount, then I include them. But they are the first that I trash. If there's a lot, those portrait ones are right out the window. But I have been including some of them. So if you have a bobble pick of Rinder bobblehead that's fun, or that just happens to be at a Scientology organization, we're going to show those tomorrow, and we're going to show the David Miscavige shoops tomorrow. I think a majority of the comments on my channel are about how people love those and how they want to see more. And I try to engage the viewers, and they like making them. So
they are hilarious.
Give the people what they want.
That's right. We give the people what they want here at the Blown for Good YouTube channel. So yeah, there's that. Also, we have a new sort of photo that I'm requesting, and this just came up. Evidently on Twitter, it looks like there's about 80 Twitter accounts, and we call these troll accounts, Twitter trolls. And these trolls, they're under the Scientology bridge, and they come out and they tweet things at Mike or Aaron or myself or Leah or whoever, anyone that's exposing Scientology. As soon as you start tweeting about Scientology, these Twitter trolls come up out under their little Scientology bridge, and they start putting things on Twitter. And usually they're pointing to the hate site that I have, or Aaron has, or Mike has, or Leah has. And we want to identify these people. So if you're on Twitter, if any listeners or viewers out there, I was explaining that to Mike, to Aaron as well, Mike, is that this is being, is going out as a podcast as well. So if I say listeners, that's for the podcast people, viewers for the YouTube people, or the Twitter people, or the Facebook folks. Anyway, if you happen to be on Twitter and you follow me or Mike or Aaron or Leah, and you see any of these trolls pop out from under the little Scientology bridge, take a screenshot and email it to me. We're documenting them just for a little side project we're doing that may or may not involve, other people that like to shut down Twitter accounts.
And the reason for this is because we are blocked.
Yeah.
These people that tweet about us all day long block us.
Yeah.
That's
so
we can't actually see them.
We can never see their tweets, and we don't know that they're even happening. And somebody just happened to mention it to me the other day and said there's 80 of these folks that keep tweeting. I'm like, I haven't seen one single one. So
yeah, that's the thing. I'm not opposed to blocking someone that you don't want to have any interaction with, but to block someone and tweet about them, that's the lowest of the low.
Well,
that's confront and shadow.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what trolls do. They hide under the little bridge and they little snipe at you while you're not even looking. Okay, what else? I'm just trying to take care of all these things. Yeah, we are going to upgrade the Blown for Good website, so you can just go to blownforgood.com and then just attach an image and get it to me. So for some reason, finding the email on the YouTube channel about page, I'm going to have to get, we're going to have to get Elon Musk on how to figure out how to send emails to me, because technologically it's impossible, evidently. Anyway, so that's what I got. I wanted to say as well, we're going to make, on the Blown for Good website, we're going to make master lists. We're going to have a list of all the Scientology YouTube channels you should subscribe to, because every time I've added one to my YouTube channel, there's 2 more people that are like, hey, why didn't you put my channel on there? I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, it was an oversight, and people are even saying like apostate Alex just showed up on Tuesday and he's on there, and I've been doing this for 27 years and you don't even have me listen. Okay, sorry, so many. Anyway, so if you look in the video, if you look in the description for this video, it's only my links right now because I'm tired of catching flack for missing everybody else. So I didn't link Aaron, Mike. Nobody, just me.
Oh, well, I'm quitting. I'm leaving this.
You're out
right now.
I'm going to make a complete list and I'm going to put it on my website and then we'll go from there. And we're
You're
also
not even linking to me.
Not linking to you
What the
anymore,
hell am I
Mike.
doing
I'm on a strike because I'm catching so much flack for listing you and Aaron that all the other guys are jealous. But then the other thing, we got to get these subscribers. According to YouTube, there's like 20, 30,000 people watching these videos and only 12% of you are subscribed. What is going on, folks?
Wow.
You got to hit that subscribe button.
I didn't even know you could see that.
Yeah. In the analytics page on YouTube, you can see who's clicking those like and those subscribe buttons and the notification buttons. It seems like the people that are subscribed are all clicking the notification. But there's a lot of viewers that aren't subscribing, so it is what it is.
Crows.
Right? What's that? Crows? I don't know what that
just
is.
put a comment on that, but I have to see. Who do you prefer, crows or magpies?
Oh.
It's the 2 AFL teams in Adelaide.
Yes. That's what I thought. I knew about magpies. I forgot about the crows.
Magpies is also in Melbourne. That's the Collingwood team.
That's the one I like. That's the one that has the guy from the United
Yeah.
States guy, Mason.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I always talk about that guy to pretend like I know something about the sport. I haven't watched that with Mike in a while. Usually when Mike are together, we watch Aussie Rules or rugby, but we haven't watched it in a while. I think the last time I was with Mike, it wasn't in the season. We have an insane amount of questions, so I'm going to get right to it. Let's see here. Deliana. Hi, Mike, Mark, and Aaron. Big hug from Bulgaria.
How cool.
Wow. Mike's and Mark's books are in my favorite list, and they will stay there forever. I can't wait for Claire's. Thank you. That's awesome. Bulgaria.
Yeah, that's very
That
cool.
is amazing. Stuart Reed says, was DM declared PTS when he injured his ankle playing basketball? That's a great question, Stuart. He wasn't, but you know what? The gal, you know her, Mike. Jan. There was a girl named Jan that was she was sort of
RTC. Yeah,
she was the qualifications secretary of RTC, and the welfare of the religious technology Sea Org members was her job. So if Dave broke his leg, that means that there would be something wrong with the auditing he was getting, or something about him that she should have taken care of. And she went to an eye doctor appointment, and she never came home. She never came back to the base. So that was...
I think Claire got the idea of the eye doctor appointment from Jan.
That is exactly where she got the idea, because Claire was the internal exec RTC, and she was over the qualifications area, and she had made a list of every single RTC staff member that had blown and how they blew and what the exact circumstances were. So Claire was like, I know exactly how I'm getting out of here. I'm going to an eye doctor appointment.
Well,
and,
that leg breaking incident was at like a celebrity basketball game.
Dustin Hoffman, Tom Cruise, Dave Miscavige.
It was during the Rain Man time, and apparently the word that went around was that he got tripped by Dustin Hoffman, and that's how he broke his leg.
Yeah. Aaron, it was a small man's league, just in case you were wondering. It was the
nobody was dunking at that game.
No, there was nobody.
Did they have the 8-foot hoops?
It was called the Oompa Loompa League. That's what I heard on the internet. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. But yes, the word on the street at the base was that Dustin Hoffman, Tom Cruise, and David Miscavige were playing basketball, and he broke his leg. And it was right before, it was in 1993, and it was right before, it was during the whole IRS tax exemption handling. And Dave Miscavige went into the IRS with a broken leg and his foot wrapped. When he took that meeting, that super famous meeting, he had a broken leg at that meeting. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but according to Dave, I'm going off of Dave's story, but he said he was not even wearing a cast when he went into the meeting.
I'm pretty sure that's true, but I don't know that I'm not sure what the exact timing of that was. You know what I mean? Like it may have been after it healed up a bit. 6 weeks later or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, those stories went around and around.
Yes. Great question. Brandy, hey guys, veterinary technician here. Do you find it ironic that in vet med, PTS is short for put to sleep? Oh my goodness.
I guess never heard that before.
I haven't either. I guess that technically is a potential trouble source. Yeah. Well, I mean, that is ironic. Thank you, Brandy. We did not know that. And yeah, ironic is an understatement. Joe Schmo from Simcoe. Howdy from Vancouver. Hey, Joe Schmo from Simcoe. Clearwater Chad. Oh my goodness. Clearwater Chad. Mark, you should move to Clearwater. You will be closer to Aaron, Rinder, and Chad. Chad. Chad's got a lot of time on his hand, folks.
Yep.
Chad also lives in Buffalo.
Yeah, I was going to say, moving to Clearwater, you won't be closer to Chad. You're probably closer right now.
I won't be close to the real person who has that account, but I will be close to Clearwater Chad because he's a fictitious personality. Stephen Britton. Thank you, Stephen. Stephen is in every single one of my lives, it seems. It seems as if David Miscavige has issues with delegation and trusting others. What was the eventual outcome of Diem's involvement in the McPherson case? Southern Alberta. Go ahead, Mike.
Settled.
Oh yeah, they wrote the family a giant check. Jesse Schaefer, watching from Berks County, Pennsylvania. Thank you, Jesse. That's your neck of the woods, right, Aaron?
Well, Pennsylvania, sure. I mean, Berks County. I was in anyway, I forget which county I was in. Whatever
county.
Bucks County. Yeah. Something.
Kim D. Hay, Hibbing, Minnesota in the house. Oh, thank you. I encouraged people to tell me where they're coming from so I could see them. Anthony Spurgeon, also a frequent flyer of the channel. I visited the Dallas mission today, and I will be talking with Chris Shelton about my visit this Friday on his channel if anyone want to tune in. Awesome.
I assume that's the Dallas org that looks like a mission now.
Yeah, somebody sent a picture.
I don't think there's a mission there. There's a big building, and it probably has less activity than a mission, but I'm pretty sure that'll be the Dallas org.
Yeah.
Ideal org.
Yeah.
Maryland. The one that David Miscavige had nothing to do with because he never was in Texas during the pendency of the Monique Rathman case.
Yeah, there was an org that he opened, and he said, I've never been to Texas or done any business in Texas. And the lawyers are like, you were just here opening a new organization. You didn't remember? Marilyn. Oh, this is the one who does the
I
crochet.
Recognize that name.
Hi from Vermont, Holla. Or is that Vermont Holler? I don't know. Keep the thumbnails coming. DM deserves it. P.S. I'm almost done crocheting the Xenu outfits for you guys.
I can't wait.
I'm so excited. Gonna get a little Xenu outfit for my Mike Rinder bobble. Pete Jensen, thank you for the super chat, Pete. Ruth, sorry about the bad joke no one got. LOL. she came over to apologize. Yeah, I think it was just too too esoteric for us. Oh, Theta Bop. Thank you. XSO here. In the bubble for 27 years. Hubby for 41 years. We got to say your videos are so cathartic for us. Thank you. Yeah, guys, I got to say it again. I'm getting a lot of feedback from Scientologists, ex-Sea Org members, staff members, all saying that this is like a lot of these people have been living in this sort of, Aaron, like when you want to say things and you can't say them because you're going to get in trouble if you're in Scientology, and we're saying all those things and the people are like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Brandy.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah. Because Scientology likes to tell the members that, thanks, Brandy, likes to tell the members that something they did or they're crazy or it's their overts or their withholds that are making them think this way. And then when other people say the same things, they go, Cody Harkins, hey, y'all, former LDS here. Obviously, Mark loves Depeche Mode. Aaron and Mike, what are your favorite bands? Much love and keep up the good fight. Okay, Aaron.
Okay, I'll just say what I've always said my answer is, and that is U2. For most of my life, it has been my favorite band. I don't actually like most of their stuff in the last 20 years, but up until like 1996, 2000, they were definitely my favorite band, and I haven't really adopted a new favorite band, so that's my answer.
Okay, and my answer is an old fogey answer.
That's
Beatles.
Okay. The Beatles? Okay.
And
awesome.
Jack loves the Beatles now too.
Really?
So there you go. Yeah.
Nice.
He can sing the lyrics of almost every Beatles song.
Wow.
There was this great show that was on for kids called Beatle Bugs or Bugs something, and it was all based on Beatles songs, like Get Back, and the little bug was going back to his California to find his, and all of the songs were sung by other artists, but like big ones like Coldplay and Adele, and the show is actually amazing. It's a lot of fun. He loved that show, and he learned all the lyrics to the Beatles songs.
Nice.
There you go.
Awesome. Basking in it, with more celebrity comedians outing Scientology and Tom Cruise on a very large platform recently, I'm feeling like you guys are really doing what you set out to do. Cheers and congrats. I hope so.
Thanks. I mean, that's what we were talking about at the beginning of Aaron's live. That exact point. The change in societal perception of Scientology and who is willing to say what now.
Yes. Amber's Glass. When we say Three Amigos, y'all say Olé. Olé. Okay. Olé. Is that what they do? Do they say that? Is that in the movie? I don't know. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, actually.
OBG Foster says, has DM seen and reacted to the Shoops and AIs? I can only assume that it's one of the many things that we've been doing that caused them to contact all of my business clients with a letter and all that good stuff. And by the way, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. OSA can't do that unless Dave sanctions that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like OSA's not on autopilot, folks.
They operate on fear.
Yeah.
They operate on fear of doing nothing and fear of doing the wrong thing. And so it's like always the horns of this dilemma. Do we do something, but if we do it and it blows up, we're going to be in more trouble? Should we do something? Should we not? So it's almost uniform that in the world of OSA, you operate on the principle of, well, I'm probably less likely to get in trouble for doing nothing than I am for fucking something up.
Yeah. Yep. And they probably have a list. Let's say they have a list of 50 things that they're supposed to be working on. And David Miscavige is just always adding things to that list. And when he adds, just other things on the list just get knocked off. So they're always just doing whatever the latest thing that he's freaking out about that's going on. Mike, did you ever get involved in the UK OSA stuff, i.e. hiring PIs? Were you involved with Bonnie Woods, et cetera, or was it not handled at an int level?
No, that wasn't anything that I was directly involved in.
Okay.
Osa focused, or Osa and myself were focused on the United States primarily, because that's where David Miscavige was focused. And Kurt Weiland, who was the deputy commanding officer of Osa International, sort of took care of everything that was in outside of the US because he was Austrian. So the logic being, he understands how things work outside of the United States, so we'll leave it all to him.
Awesome. Jordan Devra, Scientology lost their location on Yonge Street in Toronto for not paying property taxes.
I don't think so.
I
don't think they paid their property taxes, but I don't think they've lost that location.
Okay.
That location was the first location that L. Ron Hubbard picked out in 1977 or something as the org a purchase. He started getting onto this idea of getting orgs in better locations. He personally picked out that building and authorized it to be purchased for the Toronto org. And though it has been empty for 15 years, because they emptied it out in order to get going on the Ideal Org program, because they were going to renovate it, all they managed to do was board up the windows and take everything out. And it sat like that now forever. The Continental Org of Canada has been a shell, and they moved to some rented premises out in the sticks on the second floor. Yeah, maybe above the Starbucks, but it's in some strip mall or something that nobody knows where they are and who they are.
Awesome. Terry Zaletsky. Yeah. Hi, heroes. What is your take on the comedian at the Directors Guild Awards? Aaron just did a whole video on that. Was it today or yesterday, Aaron?
Yesterday.
I think that was yesterday.
Oh, maybe it was earlier this morning. Whatever.
Yeah. Aaron did a whole video on it. Go over to his channel. It's pretty good. I mean, I think it's amazing.
We talked about it at the beginning of this when we were at Aaron's channel too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Jill G. Maybe Aaron can answer this. Mark, explain why you need the subscribe. People may just want to watch without a commitment. Clicking as a subscription helps out the YouTuber, so you are helping out someone whose content you like.
Well, you just answered the question.
Oh, she's saying explain why you need the subscribe. Not she's not telling me. She's saying that's the reason. Thank you, Jill G. Yeah. This is for Mike and I. Aaron has all the subscribers he could ever need. It does help out the YouTuber. Like if you subscribe and you like and you click the notifications on a YouTube video, then the YouTube algorithm will take that video and put it on the pages of people that have similar watch habits that you do. And it'll get our videos in front of more people. And so it helps us get, if you subscribe, it helps us get more viewers, which in turn should in fact help us get more subscribers. And then the more subscribers we have and the more views and likes we have, then the more it gets put on the homepage of YouTube and other pages of people that just log in to watch videos. Is that right, Aaron? Was that accurate?
That is accurate. And also in the updated version of Viktor Frankl's Meaning, The Search of Meaning for Life, or whatever the name of that book is, there's a section that the meaning of life is tied to the number of YouTube subscribers that you have. So it helps on...
Are you being serious right now?
That's in the new afterword. That's in the new afterword. Yeah, I read that, Aaron. It was quite touching.
That's amazing. I have no idea what's going on right now. LK Niche says, I have tried several times to subscribe, but I have an iPhone and it wouldn't let me. Oh, I think you need to just sign into your YouTube account in order to like or subscribe something. That's what I think.
Probably what it is.
Yeah, because every once in a while I'll be watching a video on my iPhone and I'll click like or subscribe if I came from Facebook or some other place, and it says, oh, you got to sign in. And then I do. And then I do, as a YouTuber, I do try to like and subscribe to channels that I like. I'm watching a channel called Foodie. something foodie. It's about these Koreans making food, and I cannot stop watching it. I'm watching all kinds of food videos, and I'm doing that instead of eating because we're about to go on vacation. I'm trying to lose some pounds, some lbs. Denver Stevo, Mike, what's the new camera? FYI, your image is a bit yellowish tonight. To all of you from us WOG followers, crud is getting exiting these days.
Oh, he's trying not to curse.
It's instead of using the SHI.
You can say shit at this point in the video. You can say shit.
I hope you're keeping the orifice of beeholes busy. Hi, Osa. I like how he says crud and then he just goes right out with a big beehole word. Thanks, Denver Stevo.
Okay, so the answer is I changed to using my iPhone.
Yeah.
At the insistence of Mark Headley and AA Ron.
We're all using iPhones as our cameras.
That's right. And now, Mike, to be fair, your image does look a million times better, to me at least.
It also does look very yellow or orange, and I wasn't sure why because it didn't earlier when we tested it.
Right.
Yeah, it might just be the lighting. We'll figure it out. It doesn't look bad, Mike.
It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad.
Thanks, Denver Stevo. I do appreciate it. Stop crying, Mike. This is a big boy channel. Cantera Bella says, I watched the halftime shows. LOL. Okay. I think that was a reference to our Monday Night Football thing. I'm trying to find some questions for Aaron because a lot of these are for Mike, and I just talk all the time anyway.
That's okay.
Anybody, Claire, star some Aaron questions. I don't like
charity. It's your channel.
I don't like Aaron just sitting there with that big shiny pearly whites that he has, making Mike and I look bad. Tarkina Meyer, a little off topic, but would love to hear from Mike and Claire's reaction to South Park on Prince Harry and Meghan. Being former Commonwealth folks, did you laugh?
Well, they might not have even seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
I saw it. I saw it. Pick me.
There you go, Aaron.
Pick me.
Speaking on behalf of the Commonwealth folk,
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So the brand new season of South Park, which is the 26th season of the show.
Nice.
Which is on HBO Max streaming. Use promo code AARUN. No, I'm just kidding. Unfortunately, by the way, they're doing the one episode per week nonsense, even for South Park. So, but the first episode was all about just making fun of Meghan and Harry. It was very, very funny.
Nice. Okay.
It was very funny. Yeah.
Well,
I
got to tell you, I did watch the documentary about those two. Their documentary. I know it was biased in their favor, but I got to tell you, their take on the media in the UK is 100% spot on.
Wow. Well, I liken the royal family to Scientology and how they deal with the media, because Scientology, they've got media connections all over the place, and they use, like, when they want to dunk on one of us and we're in Los Angeles and something happens, TMZ is very helpful in sliming former Scientology members that are celebrities. So your Leah and your Jason Begay and all this, if they need to dunk on one of those guys, TMZ will come right out and do it.
So was the Inquirer.
Yeah.
There was a few of them, and yeah.
Anyway. So anyway, another time we'll end up doing a whole thing on that. Aaron, why are you the only one on screen without scalp hair? Oh, because that's it.
Well,
that's
I saw
his
another
look.
one that says, do you shave your head or are you bald naturally? And the answer is both. I shave my head because I'm bald naturally.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But
if I let it grow out,
beard.
I do have a strong beard.
Yeah.
So
You
I
do.
recently
You're
found
like
a whole series. I found a whole series of satirical videos dedicated to men with brown hair and red beards. You guys don't know I have brown hair because I don't have any hair, but I do have brown hair. I'm not a ginger. I'm not a day walker.
You are a day walker. With the red beard, you qualify as a day walker, period.
It's funny because I don't see my beard as red because I already have my bias because I know it's brown, but I know everyone else sees it as red. But I don't know. Do you guys think it looks red?
Yeah.
You definitely have
you look like you belong in the Viking show.
Yeah, you have gingivitis. You have gingivitis.
I found YouTube videos dedicated to people with brown hair and red beards, and they're hilarious.
That's awesome. If anybody doesn't know what a daywalker is, it's a ginger that steals souls from other people during the day because they can walk around and not get burned out by the sun. And that is a South Park reference, and you have gingivitis. Okay. Thank you for that, Denver Stevo. Denver Stevo's really been here. Creepy B5, thank you for the super chat. Super Bowl commercials. That was the creepiest one I've ever seen. What say you, Aaron?
For the Super Bowl commercial, I actually thought it was very brave of them to even to actually show the e-meter, considering the e-meter is one of the most like mocked and ridiculed part of Scientology, and yet they actually showed it in the commercial. I thought that was actually a mistake, to be honest. I think if you want to create a mystery sandwich, create a mystery sandwich. Like just have it be the foo-foo, know thyself, live again. Like I thought showing the e-meter was actually a mistake. But what did you think, Mike?
They've shown the e-meter in every one of them, as far as I recall, starting with the first one that was Scientology is the merge of religious thought and science. And they showed the e-meter like, hey, we've got this cool thing that nobody else has got. It looks kind of like a Tesla or something. Like we've got equipment here that is cool. And so, they think that makes them look cool. I don't think it does. I think it does actually make people go, ooh, that's weird. And oh my God, those Scientologists are such weirdos. But this is the bubble in which Scientologists live. They believe that because David Miscavige tells them that the e-meter is really cool and everybody's interested in the e-meter and look how cool it looks. We hired the most sophisticated designers that work for Apple to design the Mark 8 Super Bake Blood e-meter. They all buy that bullshit, and then they go, oh, so everybody must be really interested in this. And they keep saying, they keep using their tagline, curious, ? And nobody's curious. But they think that if they say that, that's proof that everybody's curious, because our ads say curious. So it's like I always say, those ads are really for the internal public of Scientology. They are not to attract new people into Scientology, because they don't do that at all.
Mike, let me ask you a follow-up question on this.
Yeah.
Didn't L. Ron Hubbard say that the successful action is not to promote Scientology, but to promote Dianetics?
Yes, but he, excuse me.
That's a good point, Aaron.
As with everything that Hubbard said, somewhere else he said something else. Like there is a quote that's suitable for every side of every argument, and he certainly said that Dianetics was the thing that should be being pushed into the world, and that Dianetics was the first step that everybody should take. That's why it's called Book One. And
because it's just occurring to me, you also have the policy he wrote, books make booms, sell books, sell books. At least when you're running a Dianetics commercial, the product is to get somebody to buy Dianetics. You look at those Scientology commercials, it's not actually telling you to buy anything. It's, from a marketing perspective, a complete waste.
Oh, it's telling you to go to Scientologytv.org.
Right. And just
that's what those ads are for. Right, go to Scientologytv.org. Back when Google still had Alexa, you could go look up what ranking Scientologytv.org was in the world. And it was always like, 275,000 most popular website. And my stupid little blog was like 70,000. I mean,
Mike,
it was insane.
For people who don't know, Mike Rinder's got a blog that regularly outperforms Scientology's website, which they spend millions of dollars trying to get people to go to. Now, the e-meter keeps being brought up, and Mike made sort of a veiled reference to the Easy Bake. Now, I'm just going to show you guys something. This is going to blow your mind. This is an Easy Bake oven. Okay. I think Hasbro makes it. I'm sorry if I've given credit to the wrong toy company, but this is an Easy Bake oven that you put, you put a little tin in it with some brownie mix. You have these when you're kids. You can make brownies in it. It's got a heat lamp in it, and that's what cooks the brownies. I'm not sure what was going over. I was there at the international base when the new Scientology e-meter was designed. And to be fair, I hadn't seen an Easy Bake oven in many years, but this is what Scientology's current e-meter looks like. This is what their e-meter looks like. And this is what an Easy Bake oven looks like. And I tell you, if this e-meter doesn't bake brownies, then I ain't getting it, because it looks just like an Easy Bake oven that doesn't bake brownies. So, that's what that reference was to. And, it's pretty lame, if you ask me. Did I just switch us all around?
Mark, you remember that thing was designed and was the great breakthrough of all time.
Yeah.
That was going to change the face of Scientology, because this new e-meter was so incredible. It was so sensitive. It had all these 50,000 times more sensitive than the Mark 7. It just went on and on and on. And they were all manufactured in Taiwan, and they sat in a warehouse for 6 years or something.
I'll tell you how long these things sat around. On the back of your computer, there's USB, and there's where you used to plug a mouse in. Not when it was USB. This was before. This meter was made when there was still a mouse plug and a keyboard plug that weren't USB. And there was another connector called a serial connector, which for all you techies out there was a DB9. It was a little plug that had 9 little pins in it. And that's how you connected the e-meter to your computer. The e-meter was made before USB was a standard. And they sat for so many years in this warehouse that computers, when they were being built, when this thing was going to be released, they no longer had that connector on them. And they had to take every single one out of the box, and they had to rip out the connector, and they had to put a new USB connector in it, and then put a new board. It was a whole thing. But what I remember was we used to make e-meters at the base, and they to make an e-meter cost $400. And they generally sold those e-meters for anywhere from $3,000 to $25,000. They had gold-plated ones and silver-plated ones, but your basic one would cost between $3,000 and $4,000. The new e-meter, this new one that I just showed in Taiwan to make this meter, cost $40. $40. Guess how much they charge? $4,000.
No, 5.
Well, is it 5 now?
Yeah, it was always 5.
Oh,
with
I
a
didn't.
20% IAS discount, it made it down to 4, but the price was actually $5,000.
Wow. I had escaped by the time it finally was released, so I don't know what the price was.
And what was so insane was, even when it was released, it was like, oh my God, this breakthrough, this incredible breakthrough. And they'd been sitting in a warehouse for 6 years because the marketing wasn't good.
Yeah.
Or the marketing campaign hadn't been worked out well enough.
But also remember, they were redoing all of the HCO bulletins, and they had to redo all the courses, and everything had to be redone that had the meter. It was a whole.
Yeah.
In Scientology, whenever they re-release something, there's 12 other dominoes that fall over that all have to be re-released as well. And everybody has to buy the new one. I guarantee you, you're not getting any more or less BTs out of your system with this new meter. Okay, Dino Dank, y'all should start a movement within the ESO to mutiny against DM. That's already happening. That's why Dave is getting so wound up these days. I went to the LA org on Hollywood Boulevard as a goof and got low-key followed by a dude in an I Heart LRH hoodie. I think he forgot he had it on. That's awesome. I Heart LRH. I don't know if that's a joke or serious. Either way, it's funny.
I think it's a joke.
Eileen Bradley, I live in Bulgaria, and some guy named Mark de Turk is very busy trying to promote Scientology here. Do you guys know of him?
I've heard that name. I don't really know who or what he is.
Okay. The Doodle Queen says, when is Leah joining you? Crushing on AA Ron.
Oh,
there you go. I'm just gonna screenshot the Doodle Queen for you, Aaron. You can look her up later.
Well, hey, Mike, what Leah? When you first decided to start your channel, it was because Leah was like, "Yeah, let's do something." Has she said anything about what could become what's next?
No, there are some other things that are going on. What I'm trying to do is get my channel properly established and me properly able to put together videos, and then I will next start doing live streams so that I can start interviewing people, and I'm sort of being the guinea pig right now to try and get everything.
Mike's doing all the heavy lifting, in other words, and when it's all done and everything's sorted, she'll show up. That's okay. I get it. Jeff Hawkins. Hey, Jeff. Hubbard said that you only should put on an ad to sell a book, period, not for general image. So all of these ads are off policy. And Jeff would know. Jeff knows more about Scientology marketing than David. Jeff has forgotten more about Scientology marketing than Dave Miscavige will ever know.
True.
Thanks, Jeff.
Absolutely true.
Appreciate it. Gina. Oh, no, here we go for Aaron. Passenger shaming. I'm a ginger. Auburn and incredibly triggered. Y'all won't have souls in the morning. Enjoy. Listen here, passenger shaming. I got a ginger right on the floor above me. Okay. And the best thing was we went somewhere recently. Me and my middle kid went somewhere, and Claire was with us. And as we were dropping my son off, I saw this ginger go into the same place. And I thought, okay, that's a little weird. Just anytime I see a ginger, I cover my soul like that. And my kids do this as well, so we don't have our souls accidentally stolen by the gingers. And
oh God!
And then the mom got out of the car, also a ginger, and walked into the building. And then another car pulled up right next to us, and two gingers got out and walked into the building. And I just made an announcement, and my youngest son was in the back as well. I said, if another car pulls up with a ginger in it, we're getting out of here, because there's a massive ginger soul stealing ambush about to take place, and I don't want to be a victim. And then right after I said that, a car pulled out, and we were all looking like, oh boy, here it goes. Door opened. Super, like, amazing ginger got out of the car. I just put the car in reverse and just drove off. Left my son there. So we'll come back and get him when the dust settles. Gina says, Mark, AA, Ron, Mike, and Claire, thank you for sharing with us so genuinely, openly, supporting you from Ohio. Thank you, Gina. We appreciate it. Luis Giliberto says, Easy Bake is cheaper and makes snacks. I think we know who the winner is. Absolutely, Luis. You're dead. That's it. Denver Stevo, do you still have the titanium rod from Claire's leg surgery? If so, why? That would be so weird if I kept that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that would be so weird, Denver Stevo. Yeah, of course I still have it. It's in a bag right over here. It's actually, I think it's in my Depeche Mode collection.
His pillow.
No, we called her Robo Mom for a little while, or Robo Wife, and I just thought it'd be fun to keep it. Here we go. Luis Giliberto again. Thank you, Luis. Aaron, have you thought of getting trash from a daycare center and mixing it with your own so the Psi PIs get a nice present of diapers digging in your garbage?
Yes, I have thought of it, but there's enough refuse, biological refuse from all of the animals in the neighborhood that no trips to the daycare centers are required.
Okay. Claire, if I haven't mentioned it already, stop starring the questions. There's a lot of people in the super chat here. I'm going to try to rip through these as fast as possible. If you guys want to duck out, you can duck out.
I'm going to have to dip out, Mark.
Okay, you dip out, and I will do this. Mike, if you want to dip out too, I can answer. Thank you, Aaron.
I'll stick with you for a little while.
Okay. And we will just go through these as fast as we can. Cantera Bella again. She says, for all your best Miscavige impersonations, I can't really do a Miscavige impersonation.
No.
He sounds a lot like his dad. It's a little nasally. It's got a lot of mid-range and it's a little nasally. And
gravelly.
Yeah, gravelly. I got to work on that. I'm sorry, Cantera. I've never even tried to impersonate him. I do have one funny story which I can tell.
Notwithstanding, we could do it the other way. Notwithstanding the wherefore as the
here to I can't even remember anymore, but at the events he's always using this flowery prose that is all circular references, and it's like if you're not into flowery prose, you zone out when he's doing an event, because it's just like it's just verbiage. It's just like it's not he's saying a lot and he ain't telling you much. Cantera, thank you for that. Okay. Maisie Barnett. I just posted a super chat on Aaron's channel right before you switched. I had a COS Cairo and Palm Harbor who had the worst BO. Didn't you all say Psis aren't allowed to wear deodorant? Why is that?
No.
Well, Scientologists are allowed to wear deodorant, but L. Ron Hubbard wrote a Sea Org policy where Sea Org members are not allowed to wear or have anything, cleaning products, perfume, anything that has perfume in them, in the ingredients. So right. Sea Org members, it's not that they're not told to wear deodorant. They're just not allowed to wear deodorant that has perfume in it. And usually, if you're a Sea Org member, if you want to buy deodorant and it doesn't have perfume in it, it costs more and it's more expensive. So you can get yourself a stick of Sure for $1.99, but the natural Toms or whatever is like $8.99. And that's, if you got $45 to spend on cigarettes and coffee for the week, that Sure is going to be the first thing that gets taken off the list, or the all natural deodorant. Am I right? Am I right or am I wrong, Mike?
No, you're right. Absolutely.
At the Imp base, I don't want to put down any foreigners, but at the Imp base, we had a lot of people that were not from America. And so the BO is always attributed to the culture there, that they're not really into using deodorant. That's what it was told, how it was explained to me at the international base. And I would say even as Americans, we were all pretty right most of the time. So if you get, and also we were staying up all night a lot too, so we wouldn't go home and shower. So it wasn't like we weren't trying.
And you know what smelled even worse than the BO? The
cigarette.
Shoes.
Oh, shoes. Oh my goodness.
God.
Well, because Sea Org members almost only have one pair of shoes. And you're wearing the shoes 18, 20 hours a day, and sometimes 24/7 if you're staying up and not going home. So you're not going home, you're not showering, you're not doing laundry, and you're wearing the same clothes and the same shoes every single day. And I will say that is one thing that I took away from the Sea Org. I have
so many pairs.
I have 57 pairs of shoes. I have at least 2 or 3 times as many shoes as my wife does. And I don't wear the same pair of shoes maybe sometimes for a week. So I'll wear one pair of shoes one day, and then I will switch to the next pair the another day. And I might go for 2 weeks in a row without not wearing the same pair that I've worn in 2 weeks because of this exact reason. Because my feet really stunk when I was in the Sea Org, and then somehow when I got out, they stopped stinking. And apparently it's because you're not supposed to wear the same shoes 20 hours a day every single day.
And then people would go to sleep and they'd take their shoes off.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. And you walk into a room and you would know that someone had fallen asleep on the floor and taken their shoes off.
Or they were under their desk. Like you'd walk into an office and you'd be like, oh, there's somebody in here. I got to find another place to sleep. Somebody else has already claimed this spot. And that was the big thing at the Ent base, because if you had to stay all night, you had to go find a place to sleep where you wouldn't get found, or you wouldn't interrupt somebody else. And so there was common spots that people would go to. And sometimes if you went to bed around 4 or 5, all the usual spots were taken and you had to just go under your desk or something. Oh, the good old days. 2 17-year-old kids followed and tailed in downtown Clearwater due to World Religions Project on Scientology, turned it into a multi-month saga. Hilarious story. Wow. Okay. I haven't heard of this.
We'd like to hear it.
Yeah. Let us know more about that, Nicholas. Thank you. Okay. Jacob Harkey. Can you remind us of what each of you does in your life work outside of exposing Scientology? I do audiovisual installations, and sometimes Mike helps me.
That's exactly right.
And then we do this as our side gig.
Exactly.
And I think Aaron does some kind of real estate. He does he sells houses down in Clearwater.
Yeah, he does various things.
Yeah. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob, it will forever be known to me as the guy who did that really funny bobblehead video. I will never forget that. Super fun. Pete Jensen, how much did Mike Rinder make as an executive? He made the same as I did as a non-executive.
Less than $50 a week.
Yeah. All Sea Org members, I heard they upped it recently in Clearwater to $75 a week. Which does not account for inflation. I think I did the calculations once. The $50 was based off of some kind of Sea Org thing that was in the 70s, and they never changed it. They've never updated it for inflation. I think the calculations I did one time, we should have been getting like $200 a week if inflation was accounted for. Dina King says, Chicago here, love the thumbnails. Thank you, Dina. I love the thumbnails too. Erica Bickers, thank you for the super chat. LK Niche, I love them. I assume that's the photo shoots. Valerie says, I'm curious about DM and Shelley getting married. Was there ever any affection, or was it just convenience or pushed by somebody? I'll let you answer that, Mike, because you were around back then.
I think that there was a mutual affection and sort of respect for one another and their positions. You know, a lot of marriages in the Sea Organization are based on your compatibility outside of what is traditional love in the quote WOG world. In Scientology, it's kind of who is in your sort of smaller world of the Sea Org, people who qualify to be at the international base, or people who are allowed to go into RTC, or like, so the number of available mates in the Sea Org is extraordinarily limited. Yeah. And so you sort of narrow down. Oh, well, this is a person that's at the sort of the same echelon as me, the same experiential level, the same, acceptability within the organizational structure. All of that sort of stuff comes into play. And those two were in many respects in similar positions in the Commodore's Messenger organization, working directly with L. Ron Hubbard. So that was a very limited field. You didn't find too many people in those positions married to people who were not able to be with L. Ron Hubbard or in the Commodore's Messenger org.
Good answer. Very thorough answer. Thank you, Mike.
You're very welcome.
Epsington says, hi, I'm from West Sussex, UK, and nearly jumped out of my seat when you mentioned it earlier. Thank you, Eps. We have Clearwater Chad. Temp is 71 and sunny in Clearwater right now.
Weather update.
Clearwater Chad. Ruth W. says, I've been taking pictures of my house painting. I can't take a damn portrait because of you, Mark. Oh, you can take that. I don't mind what you do in your personal life. I just despise those portrait photos being sent to me. Mark, in both of your books, there is very little love for Mark Yeager. What is the deal with him? I didn't realize.
He's not a very lovable person.
He's just
I don't know
not.
what to tell you. He's
really,
a goof. He's a sort of a goofy kind of guy.
He's also a Dave Miscavige kiss ass. And
yes,
he will throw
totally.
anyone under the bus if it will make him look good to Dave. And
yes.
Personally, that was my main beef with him, is like he was in a position where he had to approve proposals that I was forwarding. And whenever they would have to go through him to get to Dave Miscavige, and he would sit on them, and he wouldn't look at them. And the second Dave would ask, like Dave would say, hey, I need a submission from you. And you say, yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. And then you do all the work you needed to do. And then you'd send it. And then it would park with Mark Yeager. And the second Dave would say, hey, what's the deal with that submission you were supposed to get me? And I'd be like, and right when you're about to say, I submitted it and it's been sitting with Mark Yeager would say, oh yeah, I just sent that to you. You've got to fix blah, 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 blah. And you'd be like, what? And then right after the meeting, he'd go and do the thing that he said he did. And then you'd get it. So before you get a chance to say it's sitting with Mark Yeager would dunk on you and say he'd already sent it back to you with some, and it would be like, there was a typo on page 2. It would be nothing of consequence that he would reject it on. And then once you fix the typo and send it to him, he'd sign it off in 8 seconds and forward it right to David Miscavige. Now that Dave knows that it's coming to him.
Well, if you ever watch that video of Marty Rathbun at LAX with him and Jenny Linson and Dave Bloomberg, that will give you a pretty good idea of the what are those things in Harry Potter that are the soul sucker things?
The Dementors?
Dementors.
Yeah.
He is like that.
Yeah.
He like sucks out of things that are around him. Anyway, he's also a victim.
Yeah.
That kid was sent to the Apollo when he was, I think, 10 or 11. And was the sort of stepchild of the Commodore's Messenger org. His parents were not there. He was raised in the Sea Org by the people around him, including L. Ron Hubbard, and
David Miscavige.
And David Miscavige became his like idol. And I mean, if Dave got a pair of shoes, Yeager would get the same sort of shoes.
And Dave would dunk on him for that. Dave would dunk on him for getting the shoes that Dave had.
Right.
And also, Dave has been dunking on him since they were teenagers. Like, Dave Miscavige has been giving Mark Yeager a hard time since they were teenagers. These gentlemen, they've got to be in their 60s, right?
Yeah.
By now?
Yeah.
They're in their 60s. For at least 4 decades plus, David Miscavige has been tormenting and torturing Mark Yeager. So it's no wonder he's such a kiss ass to David Miscavige at this point.
Mm-hmm.
R.R. Smith, I sent Mike Rinder bobblehead saves the world. And I have no control over the size. They are just square. Okay. I guess he sent us some pictures. It's
I
okay,
get it.
R.O. Smith. I understand. I'm not, if it's good, I'll use it. But I can't wait for my bobblehead. I live right by Church of Scientology, Cincinnati. Ooh, thank you, Eric. I can't wait. Tampa Brad has been quiet for 2 weeks. I guess DM is whipping everyone into C shape. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine that Tampa Brad guy. I mean, he had no idea what he was doing. Tampa Brad walked in to the lion's den when he started posting videos. And the fact that Aaron just happened to find his videos was the worst thing. Ken Dublo says, Mark, the email problem could because it says business use. It doesn't matter what it says. This is you sending me photos is official business use. I need photos and you want to send them to me for the business of putting shoops out on Dave Miscavige. So just send it. Don't worry about that says business. Just if all you have to do is touch it and it gives you the email. Jesse Prince, any comment on his rants about Mike? I didn't know he was even ranting about Mike.
Me neither.
Jesse, drop us a line. Okay, I just have to tell it. It's in my book too. The first time I ever met Jesse Prince, I got to the international base and I had to do a tour of the entire property and go into all these different buildings and all these different studios. And there was a studio, if you can look on the, in my book, in the paperback, or you can go to my site, blownforgood.com. I think the map is there too. There's a map of the base. At the very top of the base, there's a studio called Studio 2. And that's where Jesse Prince worked after he was kicked out of RTC. And I walked into the building and it has all these really super thick doors to keep for the soundproofing. And I open up the studio. They weren't recording, so the recording light was off. I walk into the studio and Jesse Prince is sitting at the mix board, this giant mix board, and he's in his underwear and he has no other clothes on. He just has underwear on and he has his feet up on the mix board and he's got a cup of coffee in his hand. And I walk in and I can't remember what he said now, but it was something like, well, what do you want? And I was like, oh. That was the first time I ever met Jesse Prince. He gave 0 Fs, if you know what I meant, if you know what I mean. What happened to the possible appearance of COB in Chicago recently?
He didn't show.
Yeah, he didn't show. I think there
and
was
neither did anybody else.
Yeah,
for the absolutely mandatory event that everybody must attend.
Yeah, and they had all these tarps covering their signage and everything, and they just took them off. Like, okay, the org's open, we're done. I don't know what happened. I think we did. I think we might have covered it a bit too much on the old tube channels here. Smash that like button. It's only at 41. Yeah, thanks a lot, Annette232. Hit that like button. We're almost done here. Gary Jackson Moorhead. I didn't put him on the PTS list.
Good job, Jackson.
Good God, just so you guys know, on Wednesday morning, Claire did an interview with the Gary Jackson Moorhead. He used to be the security chief at the Imp base, and she did her first interview with him. Many more to come, but she just did that, and that's coming out on Wednesday. Rocky Road, if Scientology were to lose their tax-exempt status, do you think the whales would give such large donations? They would no longer be able to claim the donations as their taxes either.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
it would also expose the fact that their large donations to help the starving children in Africa or the victims of the tornado in the Midwest or whatever really isn't being spent on any of that. It's only flying a video crew out there and providing some yellow t-shirts.
Yeah. Their income source, if the tax exempt status was revoked, it would be not decades, it would be a matter of years before Scientology was just dry up. That is how much did they owe the IRS when they got exempt status?
Well, Miscavige says in that event, we had $1 billion in outstanding tax assessment.
Yeah. So Scientology was owed $1 billion, and they didn't have all the real estate and all the money they have now. So if they would not have gotten exempt status, it would have been years before they were no more, especially if the IRS came knocking saying, where's our $1 billion? Shelly says, Easy Bake Oven uses a 100 watt light bulb. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. And the e-meter uses a not even that. Pioneer 863, I have a little claustrophobia issue, afraid that you are going to bang your heads together. Anyway, thank you for your channel. Love them. No, we're good. See, look.
Yeah. We can
virtual.
Go side to side.
They're
wide,
virtual.
Keep it wide side to side.
You're good. I set Micah telex. Did he get it? Thank you, Clearwater Chad. Aaron McAllister, thank you. Oh, good. Now these, I was wondering, there was a lot of comments. They're all super chats or super stickers. Thank you, Pioneer 863. Kyle Thurman, it wasn't a joke. Black hoodie, big white black letters on the back. I heart LRH. Followed us into a fairy tale themed bar across the street.
Oh,
that is
God.
Amazing, Kyle.
I would so love to have a shot of that.
I know.
Maybe someone can. That person's still around. Maybe they're probably wearing the same one every day.
Right?
Someone can go down and take a shot.
That would be so awesome. Lori plays. My Scottish DNA is yelling at you, M.
You ginger. You
oh, because
ginger phobe.
Of the ginger. Hey, I married a ginger. It's not that I dislike them. I just want people to be
just
educated.
Worried about them.
Yeah, I just want people to be educated. Marcus Taylor, thank you for the super chat, or thank you for the super sticker. I got to make sure I understand all the terminology. Mike, I'll let you answer this. It says, what is the president office?
It is a PR office that was created in various organizations. Originally, it was created at the Celebrity Center to give a big sounding title to the celebrities who wanted to speak to the person who was in charge. The actual person in charge of the Celebrity Center is the captain of the Celebrity Center. Hubbard decided that that captain should be able to actually run the organization, so these celebrities could be foisted off on someone who had a ceremonial title and really was only there to deal with the foisted off celebrities, and that was called the president. Scientology then, Church of Scientology International, when that was formed, created a position called the president of the Church of Scientology International, which was Heber Jensch. Heber Jensch had absolutely no authority to do anything anywhere with anyone. He was a figurehead spokesperson, and that is what the president of CSI was.
It's sort of like the president of the United States, kind of like that. They are the rep, but they don't have a lot of power and teeth.
Well, except the president of the United States has to sign every law before it gets enacted, and is the commander in chief of the armed forces and a few other things.
But still,
Heber wasn't asked to sign anything ever and was commanding nobody.
Yeah. Okay, Karen Lee Maloney says, I wish I had the money to tell you guys how much I enjoy your banter on Monday nights. The videos and live throughout the week are fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, hit that subscribe button and like button if you can. Scooter G's comment about DM whipping everyone into shape is why Tampa Brad has been quiet. Makes me wonder if we're going to see a whipping video of Tampa Brad by DM alongside the lost earring videos. Oh boy. Jordan again, it was temporary. They moved to a new location. I don't have an MR bobblehead yet, but we'll get a photo. Thanks. Aaron, Mike, and Mark. I think that was about the Toronto location.
Yeah.
And somebody else did say that they reiterated the same thing. I mean, no disrespect to anyone's political standing. I'm just curious as to why so many Scientologists seem to vote conservative.
I have answered this a few times on my blog. I'll give you one part of it and the fast answer and the easy answer. Because Scientologists are one issue voters when it comes to psychiatry.
Yeah.
And liberals tend to support health care that includes mental health care. So therefore, they are evil, bad in the hands of psychiatry. And that is a big reason why science. There's another reason. Hubbard hated government. He hated governmental organizations generally. Small government is better. No government is best. So there's a very fast answer.
Yeah. Michelle Johnson says, hi guys, did any of you have an issue with getting the needle on the e-meter to float, or any funny stories about that? Mine never floated in session.
No, I can't say I've had an issue with that.
Whenever I was being security checked, that's when you get interrogated on the e-meter. I would always think of this Depeche Mode concert that I attended at the Rose Bowl at Pasadena. I was front row center. And even now when I listen to the album, I get goosebumps and I get this kind of funny feeling, tingly feeling. And so I would think about that when I would get interrogated, and I was good to go. That's what if you want to know what a floating needle is, it's when you feel really good about something.
It's when you listen to a Depeche Mode.
And when I listen to Depeche Mode, I get a floating needle. And so I would just think about Depeche Mode. And so I really credit for Depeche Mode for getting me through all that nonsense. Goldie. Wow. Thank you, Goldie. That's very generous. Can we use this 40 and pick a random bobblehead winner? Yes, we can. Claire, do that. Claire will take care of it. Jefferson, again, Portland, Oregon in the house. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, we're getting down to the final few here. Katie Yeager.
Hey, Jeff, answer my email.
Jeff, answer Mike's email. Katie Yeager says, what will happen if DM has to go through Discovery? Settlements will happen. That's what they will never, ever get to Discovery. If David Miscavige, the civil, they can settle that, right, Mike? Yeah.
Well, providing the plaintiffs are willing to settle.
No, but I understand it is possible to write a check to make that go away.
Absolutely.
Yes, that is my prediction. If it gets to the point where that case will go in front of a jury, Scientology will write a check at the very, very, very last possible step before Dave gets deposed or it goes to trial or anything like that happens. As soon as Dave is on the spot, that's when the check will get written. Am I wrong, Mike?
Nope.
Yeah, there you go. Kelly A says, thanks for always cracking me up, you guys. Was there some kind of big flap in Portland? Yes, a long time ago, a woman sued Scientology. Was that Christofferson? Julie Christofferson? Just Google Julie Christofferson Scientology. She sued Scientology. And everybody had to go to Portland to show up and fight that. Okay, we're on the last ones here. Maxwell Edison's mom. I know that Mike
Edison majoring in medicine.
Okay, I know that Mike.
The lyrics from a Beatles song.
I know that Mike had good taste. Beatles are the best. There you go. Wow, Mike's getting all these references. Scientology has got to be imploding down 90%. Yeah, no, they're imploding. We're just televising it. That's all. It's happening. We just got to make sure everybody knows. I was shocked when I heard Miscavige had been pickpocketed at a recent event. I just thought we already showed that one. Sorry.
Yep.
Give me one redeeming quality of DM. Is he really funny? Does he play guitar? Is his uniform neatly pressed? He does have
he does
have very spiffy suits that are custom made. And I think, gosh, he had a pair of Italian loafers that were like $4,000 or something.
No, he has shoes handmade by John Lobb in London. Really? John Lobb is the shoemaker to the royal family. They have a royal warrant. I have been to the John Lobb store in whatever it is. It's not Regent Street, but it's somewhere that has been there since like 1653 with David Miscavige for the fittings for the lasts, which is the mold they make out of wood of your foot in order to make your shoes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
How much do those run?
Oh,
like a lot. Like more than $4,000.
Thousands of pounds back in the day.
Wow. For shoes.
Shoes.
I thought he spent a lot on sushi. Dino Dank says, Super sticker. Thank you, Dino Dank. Oh, that's good. A lot of these are just stickers. What was the craziest or most memorable past life from auditing that you remember? Oh, wow. That's, I don't think I really even had that kind of counseling or anything like that. That's too deep for the end of a super chat. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Spaceship shit, I think.
Yeah. Averate.
Norco.
Doug. Learning much about my own Norco cow dodging bullet in 2005. CS tried to open a facility, but our city council shut them down. Anyone sound familiar? Earl Goodwin, Daniel Irwin, Joanne Newman,
Frank
Julie
Zern,
Turner,
definitely.
Frank Zern. Yes.
Definitely.
Frank Zern used to work at the Association for Better Living and Education, and he was sent to the RPF as part of, I want to say, some kind of flap with Narconon or something like that.
Frank Zern was particularly focused on applied scholastics and opening Scientology schools.
Yes.
So that's probably what
That's what it
was they were trying to open a Scientology school in Norco and got shut down.
Nice. Arminus 5 Soup, you guys rock. Thank you. Chili love from Chili. Thank you. If you haven't seen tonight's thumbnail, it's one of Mark's best. Thank you for the person who sent that to me. I just put the title on it. Jane Windress says, starting seeing a new dentist, got a weird vibe. Is there a way to determine if a dental or doctor practice uses cult business model? I'm aware of at least one dental practice in the area that is. If you just search the name of the person and Scientology completions, if they've completed a course in Scientology, that will usually find them.
And if they have promotion from CCHR in their waiting room, that's always a giveaway, or the Way to Happiness booklets. It may not necessarily be direct Scientology stuff, but anything from any of the associated organizations or front groups, Youth for Human Rights, Say No to Drugs, that sort of stuff.
Nice. Okay. Another super sticker, Mark Fisher. Hey, Mark Fisher.
Hey, Mark.
Claire just did an interview with Mark Fisher that we released over the weekend. If you guys haven't seen that, it's great. Claire is starting to do a lot of interviews with people that are doing great, that used to be in the Sea Org. Katie Fulton, we're on the final few here, folks. Tim Minchin's Prejudice, comedic masterpiece, will give you all a great laugh over ginger topic. Fellow ginger, legit, love you all. Thank you, Katie. I really don't have any animosity towards gingers. I like to joke. Jojo, UK here. I was in Birmingham with my kids. Personality and test, invited to Birmingham org. Remember you guys, you saved me. Thank you. Supporting you all the way. I'm crushing on Mike.
That wasn't
for
the last bit. That was for the bit before.
Yeah, Mike's thumping up about you crushing on him. There you go. Ripe today in solidarity with your OSA days. Been at computer since I fell asleep at laptop looking for listings after Poe's stream last night. I have a few weeks for house hunting moving. Thank you, Jay Dice. Megan Knight says, curious about the Young and Restless soap opera Scientologists. Seem like Sharon Case left, but Michelle Stafford is OT level, in deep. Any scoop about them? I think you're exactly right. I think Sharon Case might have bailed, but Michelle Stafford is hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Claire, Goldie says, Claire, that's what I was mentioning before. Just because you can't make a donation doesn't mean your support isn't greatly appreciated. Yeah, I try to answer super chats and the regular questions, and Claire does stars a lot of the regular questions. You guys have to thank your wives for keeping you sane with everything that has happened to you. This is true. I do credit Claire for a lot of things. She does. She kind of keeps this whole Headley show on the wheels on the track. Nick Costello. Thank you, Nick. Okay. We're getting there. This is it. Creepy 5 super sticker. Thank you. Kelly Bell, do you think the cult leaders are self-aware? Did LRH know he was something of a cult leader? Does DM have any self-awareness of being a sociopath? No, that's the first thing about sociopaths is they have no clue. AA Chucko, I'm a Christian from Oklahoma. I am absolutely fascinated by your battles with Scientology. It's scary stuff. Well, I'm glad it's entertaining. We're hoping it's coming to an end sooner than later, because it does get to be a lot every once in a while. Kelly McDonald, I can verify that the Toronto location is gone. They are now in a building at Victoria Park in O'Connor Avenue, Suite 201. Trust me, I had great fun trolling them. I have no doubt that they are in a new location. The thing that we question is whether or not they still own the property. Right. Is it on Yonge Street? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Okay, here's the last one, guys. Since there are members of OSA on the webcast, are there questions they could ask themselves that might help them think about the church differently? It's really hard. The guys that are left at OSA, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Mike, but the guys that are left at OSA are pretty much lifers that have been there for decades in most cases, and they're numb. They've heard and seen it all for the most part. So, and a lot of times they don't even have a place to go, right, Mike?
Right.
They don't
exactly.
They don't. A lot of these people, when you leave the Sea Org, you have to be able to be willing to be homeless, to leave. And you have to start your life from scratch with no support, with often no relatives, no friends, no family. And that's that leap of faith that you just have to hope it's going to work out. And that is the main reason. That's a perfect segue into the end here. That's the reason why we have the Aftermath Foundation. The Aftermath Foundation is an organization that supports former Scientologists or Sea Org members that are trying to leave and get their life back on track. And if they need resources to do that, that's what the Aftermath Foundation provides. Mike is a member of the Aftermath Foundation, as is myself and my wife, and Aaron and Luis Garcia and Ray
Christy.
Jeffries and Christy, Mike's wife. We're all members of the Aftermath Foundation. And that is in addition to our normal lives and in addition to all this YouTube stuff. That's the other thing that we also do. And we're like, we have a lot of jobs, a lot of multitasking, to say the least. Yes. So if you've emailed me or you've emailed Mike and you didn't hear back, it's because we get hundreds and hundreds of emails every day. It's not like we just don't answer emails. We just don't answer all of them. So if you want to find out how to volunteer for the Aftermath Foundation or you want to make a donation, you can go to theaftermathfoundation.org. Mike Rinder bobbleheads and SP bracelets can be gotten at the SP shop. And if you want to get a copy of Mike's book, you can go to his blog at MikeRinder. What is it? MikeRindersblog.org. MikeRindersblog.org. Now, I'm going to do a video about this, but don't go to MikeRinderblog.org because that's owned by Scientology. You got to go to MikeRindersblog.org, and that's where Mike's blog is.
And I will provide you with a personalized signed copy.
Nice.
As it came to my blog now, rather than being done through the SP shop for various reasons, I added a sort of a bonus. You can fill out what message you would like written in the book, and I will do that. So you can find it on the homepage there.
Awesome. And then if you want a Blown for Good book, where we go into all this craziness and my time at the Ant Base for 15 years, you can go to blownforgood.com, and myself and my wife sign those copies. We sign every single paperback or hardback that's bought from blownforgood.com. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to, it says 22,000. I think we're trying to get to 23,000 now. But if you got to, if you subscribe, we can get up there, and we're trying to beat Scientology subscribers. They have like 80,000 something subscribers, and Mike and I have to have more than them, because then we can say there's more people watching and subscribe to this channel than there are Scientologists in the world.
Well, I think we've already accomplished that.
Well, we have
You've got
accomplished.
22,000 and I now have 13,000, Mark.
Yeah, we easily have, between us, we easily have more than there are Scientologists. But we want to get past them on their subscribers. It's just a point that we need to get to. We'd like to get there by March 13th, but if we get there later, that's fine too. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Mike, for staying to the very end. And thank you for everybody in the chats. And I also, Claire and myself also do go into the comments. And if you've asked a question that didn't get answered in the video, a lot of times Claire and I will actually go into the comments and answer the questions if we haven't answered it already, or if it's not somewhere else in that same thing. So reach out to us in the comments. If you've got valuable or constructive feedback, I love to hear about it in the comments. And if it's nonsense, I just scroll past. I try not to engage. But thank you very much. And now it's for the rock and outro. By the way, we're working on an intro for Mike. We got some great ideas. We're going to figure that out, but soon to come. If you haven't subscribed, go to Mike's channel, Michael Rinder on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description.
I changed it today, Mark. It's
what's
Mike
it called?
Rinder.
What's it?
It's now Mike Rinder on YouTube.
Mike Rinder. There you go.
There you go.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Outro.
Bye.